Now, Jack, as a Carlton supporter growing up, there's no one that I love watching lose more than Richmond. I love watching you grow up. And for 11 years leading up to 2017, you went through the sort of roller coaster of being a Richmond player. What was it like leading into that season, and how did you feel compared to all of the other experiences you'd had so far as a Richmond player?
Well, off the back of 2016, which obviously you had an amazing amount of success in, we went from playing finals in 13, 14 and 15 and just sort of had this natural progression. So as a young group gets older, you start to think that you'll continue to go up the ladder. We nearly finished in the 4 a couple of times, but 2016 rolled around and we could not have got it more wrong. False sense of security, lost our identity a little bit, and lost our form with everything that comes with that. So 2017 was probably a year of trepidation, really, in the back of my mind, looking at it going, what if? What does the year hold for me? What does the year hold for the team? What does the year hold for the club?
So you had 2 teams sitting at top of the ladder, essentially, with 5 wins after those 5 rounds, you and Adelaide.
Can remember it vividly.
The perfect opportunity to set yourself as the highest possible team in the league. Talk me through that game and how that led into the rest of the year.
Well, it's a TV director's absolute dream when you've got both top sides playing undefeated at round 6. And we went to Adelaide, playing at Adelaide Oval, the amazing arena that is, and got absolutely pummeled. Absolutely pummeled. And I can remember the Adelaide boys got a bit chippy after the game, referring to themselves as the kings of the jungle, the real kings of the jungle, which we parked in the back of the mind.
It's a bit much at the best of times.
A bit early on in the season. But from there as well, we actually lost the next 3 games as well. So we had our backs against the wall, and as much as the fairy tale that we were living after 5 and zip sort of come crashing down to a new reality when we're back at 5 and 5.
So grand final week comes around, one of the strangest weeks in footy in my experience. You're obviously preparing for a game against the Crows, the kings of the jungle, as they called themselves earlier in the year. Where was your head at with regards to the week ahead and how you felt going into the big game?
Yeah, well, Damien Harvick set the scene after we beat the Giants in the prelim final. He said, enjoy the week. You never know when you're going to come back.
Such a strange thing to try and do, but...
Yeah, enjoy the week. And of course, players look at a whole range of tipsters, they look at a whole range of things, and everything's telling the football world that Adelaide should win the 2017 premiership. 10 minutes into the game, they've kicked 2 goals, and all of a sudden, just that little thing on your shoulder jumps on and go, well, you're Richmond. Like, you're not supposed to win. And even with 2 minutes to go, I think Dan Butler kicks a check side goal, and the game is done and dusted. You're so caught up in history of the fact that we've struggled, we haven't won it, we've lost the unlosable, that our mentality was not until the final siren went.
You finish the game, you get the win, you change history, you make history. What was it actually like to spend a bit of time with the faithful and for them to stick with the club? You know, that's the actual Aussie way.
You would have experienced this in 2016, and it's something that I never foresaw happening, was the fact that there's generations of people that have followed the Bulldogs and followed Richmond and have been have been unsuccessful for decades. And all of a sudden there's that light bulb moment on the Sunday after the grand final when we're there with 30,000 of the Richmond faithful, and you see generations connecting together, and it finally clicks for them why the Tigers are a great team to go for and why the Bulldogs are a great team to go for. It's those moments where you bring those generations together, those generations of supporters who have been the underdog for a long period of time, together with happiness and joy.